Breaking on 4 News Now, a fire burning near the Post Falls Dam. We are live on the scene as firefighters are battling the flames from the air and on the ground.
And fire crews are going to have their work cut out for them this weekend. I'm tracking thunderstorms that could spark more wildfires. I'll show you when they're expected to rise in your first alert forecast.
And threats to burn down Spokane found hours before hundreds were told to evacuate in the West Hills neighborhood. What investigators are doing to find those responsible. You're watching 4 News Now at 6 o'clock.
We begin with that breaking news tonight and a live look at the fire burning in Post Falls that is already forcing people from their homes. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. The fire's burning near the Post Falls Dam. Level 3 evacuations in place for those living near Camille Park. We can pull this map up for you. The area shaded in there. Well, there are level 3 evacuations. Here's that map. The area is shaded in red. If you live in that area, and that has grown in just the last 30 minutes, you're asked to get out now. The area shaded in yellow. Those are level 2 evacuations. That means be ready to leave. And the green is be aware that a fire is burning in your area. And this is where our Rania Kaur is tonight. And Rania, how are things looking?
Aaron, Kirsten, I was told by Kootenai County Sheriff deputies and Kootenai County Fire and Rescue that only 4 homes at this time have been explicitly told to evacuate. Everybody else is on high alert. Those with disabilities, older people, or if you have ailments are being evacuated at their request. And of course, you can contact law enforcement to do that. Mullen Trail Elementary School at this time is being used as a shelter. Now, if you look behind me, there's a huge plume of smoke. It has died down quite a bit since I've been here for the past hour or so. A lot of air support here and crews on the ground, but I'm told it's that air support that is really helping to attack this fire. In the latest update from the Idaho Department of Lands, this fire is about 15 acres and is moving southeast. I'm told it's burning in the wildland area of Camille Park. Of course, you're still asked to avoid this Riverview Drive area, which I'm standing right now. As we get more information, we'll bring it to you right here on KXLY, sending it back to you in studio.
Rania, thank you. The fire crews will be on high alert this weekend with the potential for thunderstorms to spark more wildfires.
Meteorologist Matt Gray is in for Chris tonight. And Matt, we need to stay fire aware with the potential for lightning.
That's right. Even with some much needed rain in the forecast, we have still got to be aware all weekend long, because when one of those thunderstorms passes you by, the lightning strikes may have left you with a fire behind it. Here is what's happening right now on the radar. Just some light showers well to the south of the Spokane area. Not expecting a lot to happen tonight. Instead, we're going to be looking at what's going to happen tomorrow. Here on this map that I'm about to show you, these areas of these white and yellow bumps, these symbolize lightning activity. So let's put this simulation into motion here. As we get through Saturday morning, a chance for a few sprinkles, and then here Saturday afternoon, you really see the lightning activity crank up. And we're going to see that again as we head into Sunday. Lots of places have a good chance for rain this weekend, but that lightning is going to come along for the ride as well. And unfortunately, a 2-3 day rain event, even though it has the potential for some hugely positive things for our area. Our friends at the National Weather Service in Spokane said it best. It is going to take more than a couple of wet days to recover from how dry it has been for the better part of a month now. And even back into the spring, we were seeing below average rain conditions. So stay fire alert this weekend. I know it's going to feel weird with rain, potentially a lot of rain in your neighborhood, but still, need to stay fire alert. Potential for some heavy rain, that's good to see. Smoky conditions as well, going to continue through the weekend. We'll talk about air quality, and we'll show you when you should be planning to maybe head inside or have the raincoat coming up.
Matt, thank you. We go now to more breaking news. Writings found under a viaduct near downtown Spokane, a threat to burn down Spokane. The messages were deliberately dated August 3rd, the same day multiple fires started in West Spokane. And tonight we've learned that as crews were responding to one fire in West Spokane, 4 additional fires were intentionally started nearby.
Those fires forced people from their homes, and finding the person or people responsible is now a top priority for the Spokane Fire Department. Our Jordan Smith joins us live now where those messages were found. You can see them. And Jordan, what can you tell us?
Yeah, you certainly can see them here. We're on Post Street under the viaduct here, and that's where a lot of these messages were written. There's one around the corner at the alleyway. And take a look at this one with an extra note written in red here asking taxpayers asking taxpayers, where did all of your money go? It's your right to know your responsibility. Certainly an ominous message or warning ahead of those fires that broke out, and it's certainly something that investigators are looking into.
On Thursday, fire crews urgently responded to a series of fires that erupted in the West Hills, threatening families in the area. Tonight, investigators believe at least 4 of those fires were intentionally started.
My view at this point is those were intentional.
Aircraft soared up above, drenching the flames with water as families evacuated from the area. But early on Thursday morning, these messages were discovered with a threat to burn Spokane dated August 3rd. Just hours after they were discovered, 5 wildfires sparked up. But no link has been firmly established between these messages and the fires.
We haven't found a direct connection between those messages that were downtown to these fires, but that's certainly an important part of this investigation.
Investigators are calling the timing suspicious and are examining security footage from the area of those messages and the homes near where those fires began. Ultimately, fire crews prevailed. Despite 5 fires burning through immensely dry fuels, no homes or businesses were damaged and no injuries were reported.
And the other great news to report here tonight is after hours of fighting that fire, crews are wrapping up. They hope to be out of the fire line by 7 o'clock here tonight. So coming up, meantime, we will keep an eye on this investigation and keep you updated with any updates that we get or new information that we come across. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Jordan Smith live for us. Now to more breaking news from the Spokane courthouse tonight. The man accused of causing a deadly crash earlier this week on Highway 2 in North Spokane County is charged with second-degree murder. Friends and family of the victim, 33-year-old Rebecca Powelson, showed up for Paul Ainsworth's first appearance in court. They pleaded with the judge to keep Ainsworth's bail high. Ainsworth is accused of ramming into Powelson's pickup, causing it to flip over, killing her. According to the judge, witnesses say it was intentional. The judge set Ainsworth's bail at $100,000, and he will be back in court on August 15th.
I think it hits home. You know, I talked about rivalries yesterday. I mean, to think it's the end of the Apple Cup.
There's been a seismic shift in college sports on the West Coast. Washington and Oregon have become the latest schools to leave the Pac-12 and join the Big Ten starting in 2024. A total of 5 schools have left the Pac-12 over the past year, which could be a fatal blow to the conference. It also leaves Washington State with an uncertain future. Sports director Julian Minnesone caught up with the Cougars after practice. He joins us live from Pullman with their reaction to the news.
Oregon and Washington leaving the Pac-12 to join the Big Ten seemingly destroyed the last lifeline this conference had left. And because Washington State didn't get an invite to the cool kids table, they're on the outside looking in. Now, at this point, Washington State has not received an offer to join one of the power conferences. And with schools jumping ship left and right, this could leave the Pac-12 without a media rights deal and any way to continue moving forward. This is also a potential end to storied rivalry games like the Apple Cup between Washington State and Washington. The University of Washington released a statement earlier today saying that their plan is to have the Apple Cup game continue, but nothing is guaranteed. Cougars head coach Jake Dickert has been vocal against the idea of conference realignment. He found out the Huskies and Ducks were leaving the conference after practice earlier today.
The Pac-12 was comprised of 12 amazing state institutions, high academic institutions, great, tremendous athletic institutions for a long time. I woke up as a kid and the Rose Bowl was Big Ten, Pac-12, Pac-10 back then, and that was a big deal. Traveling across the country, you know, you look at the NFL, you know, they got tons of research on how hard that is, and that's for professional athletes. For student athletes, the guys that got to come back and take an exam and missing class, I think it's tremendously difficult, you know, and I think it hits home. You know, I talked about rivalries yesterday. I mean, to think it's the end of the Apple Cup, you know, to think it's the end of the Civil War. I don't even know if they can call that anymore. But at the end of the day, you know, what's it worth? I understand business. You know, I understand change. Everyone's got to change, and we got to adapt. And Wazoo will find its way. We have for 100 and some years, and we will again.
And according to multiple reports, Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah have already begun the steps necessary to leave the Pac-12 as well and join the Big 12, the latest in bombshell news for West Coast football and college athletics nationwide. In Pullman, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
And we'll have team coverage on the fate of the Pac-12 later in this newscast. 4 News Now's Marissa Rio has the latest on how the greater WSU community will be impacted by this major shift in sports. That and more coming up at 6:30.
For the first time ever, those struggling with severe postpartum depression may find relief from a new pill. Trials for the drug zuranolone showed women with the illness had significant improvements in depression symptoms when taking the pill for 2 weeks compared to those who were given a placebo. The study says those improvements were still reported over a month later.
Once you take the medication, a person recovers from depression, and then their risk of relapse diminishes significantly. A long course of treatment, a long course of symptom relief from a short course of treatment. Which is very new and a novel thing in our field.
Postpartum depression can happen anytime within the first year after childbirth. The only approved drug specifically for postpartum depression is an IV treatment given the green light in 2019. The FDA is expected to decide on the new pill by Saturday. If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, help is available. You can reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988.
New at 6 o'clock, Spokane police found guns, cash, and illegal drugs while serving multiple search warrants in northwest Spokane yesterday. You see the pictures on your screen here. Police recovered 6 handguns and between 8,000 to 10,000 fentanyl pills. Still ahead, a bystander hit by a patrol car during a high-speed chase months after a new law goes into effect that relaxes regulations around police pursuits. How did this pursuit fall under those new laws? Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Four News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Save your dreams!
Enjoy all things Huckleberry in Trout Creek, Montana, the second weekend in August. This free event is your destination for good old-fashioned family fun with a parade, live music, a pie eating contest, over 100 local artisans, and much more. Visit huckleberryfestival.com right now for details.
You've been hearing about it, and now we've got it at Post Falls Volkswagen, the ID4 electric SUV. This SUV has a space, warranty, technology that buyers want at a price that's competitive. The ID4 was engineered to win the hearts of SUV owners ready to go electric. With a quick charge and an EPA estimated range of 260 miles.
The Volkswagen ID4, now eligible for a $7,500 lease credit.
The ID4 electric SUV, see it at Post Falls Volkswagen.
Hi, I'm Gabby Lemieux, inviting you to join me for the Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA at the beautiful Circling Raven Golf Club. The tour's mission is to prepare the world's best female professional golfers for a successful career in the LPGA.
Circling Raven Golf Club has once again been chosen to host this women's professional golf tournament August 21st through the 27th. More than 150 pros from over 30 countries will compete for shares of the $200,000 purse.
The Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA, brought to you by Circling Raven Golf Club and 4 News Now. I'll see you right here.
After Advil.
Feeling better?
On top of the world!
Before Advil. Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. When pain comes for you, come back fast with Advil liquid gels.
4 News Now Fire Watch coverage.
That fire has grown exponentially.
With resources on TV, online, and on the go with the 4 News Now app. Fire Watch coverage to keep you safe. That's what we mean when we say expect more on 4 News Now.
Great Homes of Idaho is having their grand opening August 11th through the 13th in Post Falls. Come in and tour their beautiful model homes by Kit Custom Home Builders. Highly customizable with features and options you'll love. Great Homes has been helping customers in Montana create their dream homes for over 25 years. And with their expansion to Post Falls, they would love to help you experience the same. Join them for their August celebration featuring prize drawings and a 20% discount certificate towards numerous upgrades. Only available during this grand opening weekend.
You don't want to miss the 43rd Annual Trout Creek Huckleberry Festival, August 12th and 13th. Free entry and parking, kid and dog friendly, with a parade, over 100 local vendors, and an auction. Free entertainment and much more. Visit huckleberryfestival.com right now for details.
Well, we first showed you this video which captured the end of a high-speed chase in downtown Spokane. It started when the suspect fired his gun at a sheriff's deputy and ended with him crashing through a brick wall. But the video also captured Spokane police hitting a person with their patrol car as they pulled into that parking lot. And that person walked away from the scene and declined medical service, though data shows that hundreds of people are killed nationwide in police pursuits every year.
Which is why some argued against new relaxed restrictions to Washington's police pursuit laws, which were signed into law a few months back. This also causes many people to reach out to us asking, was this pursuit justified? 4 News Now's Natalie Grant digs into those new police pursuit laws tonight.
Well, Aaron, Kirsten, in this last legislative session, Governor Jay Inslee signed a new law that rolled back some of the requirements needed for police to chase people in their vehicles, which were put into place back in 2021. It was a move that many members of law enforcement were in support of, saying it eliminated ways for dangerous suspects to evade police. But on the other side, people against the law arguing high-speed pursuits are dangerous and could result in more injuries and deaths, especially to innocent bystanders. Now, this new law says that police no longer need probable cause to start a pursuit. Instead, they just need reasonable suspicion that a person has committed a violent or sexual crime, domestic assault, escape, or a possible DUI. Now, in this case, the man shooting at the deputy justified the pursuit. The law also states that officers involved in pursuits must go through emergency vehicle operator courses or pursuit intervention technique courses every 2 years. Now, we did reach out to both Spokane Police and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office to see if the officers involved in this pursuit had completed those courses. While neither were able to offer specifics to all the officers involved the other day, both departments said these trainings are provided to their team on a regular basis and were offered when the law changed this past spring. However, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office did mention that the deputy who was shot at by the suspect and started the pursuit did just complete his training last month. And as we mentioned, police said that the person who was hit in this pursuit by the vehicle did walk away from the scene and later denied medical treatment by first responders. Reporting in studio tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
We desperately need some rain in the inland northwest over the last 30 days. Some areas seeing less than 10% of what they would at an average year. The rain is coming, but it comes with some side effects that are not so great for fire danger. We talk about all that. We'll show you how much rain we could expect in some areas of the inland northwest coming up.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Adams Tractor.
America, it's the Discover Summer Sales Event. Astapro Allergy, steroid-free allergy relief that starts working in 30 minutes, while other allergy sprays take hours. With Astapro's unbeatably fast allergy relief, you can Astapro and go.
At St. Joseph's Indian School, we know that a Native American child's future depends on a strong foundation.
At St. Joseph's Indian School, they care for the kids.
Our students come from many places, seeking a good education, a safe place to learn, and Native American values that enrich their lives.
It's on us to teach our younger generations, our children.
At St. Joseph's Indian School, children get their best chance to succeed in life.
I like being here because I live and learn at St. Joseph's. When I'm here, I feel like I'm home.
Our children are our greatest endeavor. By investing in their education, we honor their past and secure their future. To learn more, go to stjo.org today.
America, come along with our adventure seekers, the Sanchez family, and discover summer with the Ford F-150. Lease a well-equipped 2023 F-150 for just $399 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
Next ET, The Fugitive turns 30. What you never knew about the film. And Harrison Ford's on-set injury.
Planted my right foot.
Snap.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Start your day with Good Morning Northwest and
Good Morning America.
Finally, some rain in the forecast, and ironically enough, we may be talking about, in some cases, too much rain too fast. That's right. We have the possibility of flash flooding with some of the heaviest rain from these thunderstorms that comes through this weekend. So another good reason to have that 4 News Now weather app handy, not only because you're going to be needing to check the radar a lot this weekend, but also because it'll send flash flood alerts straight to your phone. Primarily, folks, this is for areas that are close to some of the areas burned by wildfires over the past couple of years. Most of us are going to end up in this range, but even if you get just a couple of tenths of an inch, that's pretty good here in August, because we average, in Spokane at least, less than half an inch of rain in the month of August. So this is a big deal, and it can certainly help us a lot with well, our lack of rain so far here in 2023. Let's fast forward and show you how things are going to play out in the metro. Should be fairly dry and cloudy in the morning, but after lunchtime, that's when we start to need to begin to watch the skies. Starting in Kootenai County and then moving into the Spokane area, winds are going to be out of the east starting on Saturday afternoon. And as early as 1 or 2 o'clock, we could see the first round of these thunderstorms sweeping through the area. The best chance is likely going to be in that 4 to 6 p.m. time frame. We even might extend that out to around 7 o'clock, but there likely will be multiple rounds of thunderstorms sweeping through the area, both on Saturday and on Sunday. This is early Sunday morning. We'll even have a chance because the storm system, the bigger system that's causing all this, is going to be right on top of us. So we have a good chance for activity to continue even through Saturday night and into Sunday morning. And, well, there you go. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can kind of see here, it's going to come and it's going to go. It's not going to be raining all day long. Some days may be wetter at your house than the others, but primarily there's a much better chance for rain the next few days than we have seen in a long time. It's also going to be on Monday that we'll see widespread thunderstorms in the afternoon. That is before the system finally gets out of here, and you can see how our rain chances drop off pretty quickly heading into the middle of the upcoming week. Temperatures right now in the mid-80s. And the haze is really starting to make its presence felt here. We've got moderate air quality from Airway Heights all the way to the Coeur d'Alene area. So the whole I-90 corridor right now. And this might just be the beginning. To make a long story short, winds out of the east. There's a lot of fire activity in Montana. It's going to push this direction. And so I think that by the time we get to Sunday morning, we may have some big issues with wildfire smoke in our region. So we got to pay attention to the air quality as well, particularly on Sunday. I think we'll see some improvements on Monday. So watch that air quality Sunday and also partially even Saturday afternoon in some cases. Then we get some nice temperatures. We get some nice weather. Enjoy it while it is here, because I think the hot conditions are not going to be too far away once this week is done.
Matt, thanks. Still ahead, as we approach flu season, officials warn there may be a COVID comeback. What you need to know to stay healthy this fall.
Returning to the scene of the crime nearly 5 years later, why families of those lost in the Parkland school shooting are hopeful today's emotional reenactment will bring a change for good.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
The time to buy is now. Yes, RV show pricing continues at R&R RV in North Spokane. Over 125 RVs are indoors at 525 East Francis. You'll save thousands with rebates and show discounts on Cougar, Rockwood, Montana, Class B vans, and more. Everything show price. You don't want to shop in this heat. Shop over 125 RVs indoors now at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis, or online at rnrrv.com.
Warm weather is here, but it's never too soon to think about fall. Call Mainstream this summer for a $79 AC tune-up, and in the fall, we'll tune up your furnace for free. That's right, get 2 tune-ups for the price of 1. It's just that simple. Call your friends at Mainstream today.
Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can be overwhelming.
So ask your doctor about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. So far, more than 5 million Botox treatments have been given to over 850,000 chronic migraine patients.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
Weather Alert Days on 4 News Now.
These are days in which we want you to be safe.
With the hot and dry conditions, there is an increased fire risk.
The First Alert Weather Team pinpoints the most impactful and dangerous days, warning you early, on air and online.
Those gusty winds and a lightning strike, that's all it takes.
Here's 5 o'clock. Here's 6 o'clock.
Weather Alert Days, another way we're keeping you safe on 4 News Now. That's what we mean when we say, expect more.
You know Tori's deals and steals are always amazing. Now get this.
Tori, you've done it yet again.
Next week, she's popping up live every morning across the nation. Right, Tori?
We're driving in and setting up with the best local deals and steals.
GMA all next week.
You can't miss it.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Subaru.
We are continuing to follow that breaking news happening in Post Falls. You're looking at a helicopter filling up a water bucket from the Spokane River to fight the Parkway fire, as it's being called now, and it is burning near the Post Falls Dam tonight.
The level 3 evacuations are in place, meaning get out now. We want to show you the evacuations once again. Everyone in the area shaded in red needs to leave now. That's north of Riverview Drive up to West Parkway Drive. Anyone in the area shaded in yellow needs to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Our Rania Kaur has been at the fire all evening, bringing us breaking updates. Rania.
Aaron, Kirsten, I still hear the air support trying to fight this fire in Post Falls. But with me right now, I have the Public Information Officer, Chief Chris Way with the Kootenai County Fire and Rescue, right here to bring us the latest updates. And Chief Chris, what can you tell me about kind of the progress on this fire?
Yeah, we about 30 or 45 minutes ago had a wind shift that didn't help us, but we're starting to get some ground containment on it. The air resources have been incredibly helpful. As you said, you can see the 3 helicopters working in the background. We had several fixed wing aircraft in for a while. I think right now the last update I had heard was 18 acres, but it was still growing a little bit. We're working on geofencing it to try to get a better accurate acreage count. I think we did have some evacuations, but we're going to start to scale those back a little bit. I think we got really good structure protection on the structures that had been threatened. We had 2 structures where the fire got within 50 feet of the structures, but we were able to stop it before it hit any structures. So I think we're good there. I think we're worried about this wind shift. We've got air resources who are going to work up until dark. I think we've got ground resources who are fighting the fire, and then we've got structure protection going. So we're really in a good spot right now.
Perfect. I did hear at one point 4 homes were under evacuations, were strictly asked to evacuate. Are those 4 homes still under threat? Or are there more at this point?
I think we've had a few more that we've updated. Although, again, as the fire is shifting with the wind shift, we're going to reevaluate here in just a little bit where the map is. So I would tell people to look at the Kootenai County Office of Emergency Management Facebook page. That keeps the most up-to-date evacuation list. And I think some of our mandatory evacuations will scale back.
Thank you so much. And again, that was Chief Chris Way with the Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. Of course, we'll be continuing to bring you live updates right here on KXLY and on our website at kxly.com. Sending it back to you in studio, Aaron, Kirsten.
Rania, thank you. The new at 6 o'clock, at least 140 bullets were fired inside of a Florida high school on purpose. It was part of a step-by-step reenactment of the mass shooting inside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland 5 years ago.
The emotional exercise was requested by the families of some of the victims as they pursue a civil case against the school's then resource officer, whom they accuse of failing to act in the face of gunfire as their children died. CNN's Laura Aguirre has more on the reenactment and the greater action some family members and lawmakers hope may come of it.
The 1200 building still stands at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. A closed, eerie reminder of a gunman's rampage that killed 17 people on Valentine's Day 2018. That shooter now serving life without parole.
The defendant is not guilty.
In June, Scott Peterson, the school's then resource officer, was cleared of criminal charges that he ignored his training and failed to confront the gunman. Peterson's defense was that he couldn't tell where the gunshots were coming from. Several of the victims' families and one shooting survivor have since filed a civil lawsuit against Peterson. They requested the reenactment to prove Peterson could have heard the bullets, tracked the shooter's location, and taken action. On Friday, police traced the killer's steps, firing live rounds into ballistic traps throughout the three-story building. A bipartisan group of state lawmakers sat down with family members Friday.
This was the ballroom in which they told these family members what happened to their kids or their husbands, their loved ones.
Many here are hopeful that the reenactment's impact expands well beyond the courtroom.
You can debate it all day long, but it's not the same as going and walking through the school.
There are things that are kind of like no-brainers that we need to continue to get together. To get done.
Safety has to come before education because you cannot teach dead kids.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Well, ready or not, fall respiratory virus season is approaching. And while pharmacies set up flu and RSV vaccine appointments, health experts once again are warning about the potential threat of COVID.
All regions of the country are showing increases in hospitalizations.
Medical experts say one reason for the rise is that many people are staying indoors to avoid the scorching summer heat. Pharmacies like CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens say they'll have the new COVID-19 vaccines once they're authorized by the FDA and recommended by the CDC.
There's going to be a massive push across the United States to get your flu shot and to get your COVID vaccine updated, and then for the over 60, get that new RSV vaccine.
The CDC has also just signed off on a new vaccine to prevent RSV in children under 8 months old. Pfizer officials say they expect to have a COVID shot ready for the public sometime next month.
Coming up on 4 News Now at 6:30, continued team coverage of the future of the Pac-12. Our Marissa Rio has more on how this will impact our local Washington State Cougars. Plus,
an Eastern Washington representative warns about the threat social media could pose to your kids' safety.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
This is my favorite show. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Name something you tried to get your wife to wear in the bedroom.
Baby oil.
Yes!
Hi, Kylie here with Dad at Parker Toyota. We know finding time during the busy week to schedule your service maintenance can be difficult. That's why we've expanded our hours. We're now open Sundays.
Schedule your oil change, brakes, and other maintenance needs at your convenience online, parkertoyota.com. Our highly trained technicians can get you in and out with our express service.
Experience the no-problem sales and service 7 days a week at Parker Toyota in Coeur d'Alene.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team back in action. The Northwest Autism Center is expanding into a new space. All these cubicles have to go. The carpet's got to be removed, and we've got a couple of days to do it. It's coming in August. I'm Mark Peterson. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light that makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at GAWon'tWait.com.
So, how's the menopause going? Unexpected rage, hot flashes, exhaustion. Big fan. Here's to being tired all day and up at night.
Said no woman ever. Estroven relieves major menopause symptoms.
Where should I walk? Right here? Is this good?
Yeah, you can walk right there. This is your show. Do whatever you want.
You walk in.
It's Live with Kelly and Mark.
Wow, that was a nice reception.
Every weekday morning.
We're sitting on a couch with the new co-host, husband and wife team.
Watch Live with Kelly and Mark. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Only on 4 News Now. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
We've been bringing you breaking updates on fires burning in the inland Northwest throughout this week.
Meteorologist Matt Gray has been warning us thunderstorms pose the threat of fires in the region. He's been tracking those storms all day. Matt.
And things are really going to crank up as we head into the weekend. In the meantime, this moisture that's going to be responsible for these thunderstorms continuing to slowly make its way north into the inland Northwest. So let's take a look here right now. A chance for a sprinkle on the Camas Prairie and coming into the Lewiston area. I don't expect much more than that because we are still moistening up our lower atmosphere. It'll definitely feel a lot more humid as we head into tomorrow, and that's where we'll have that chance for some wetting rain. We'll also keep an eye on some of these little tiny thunderstorms that are trying to get themselves going in western Montana. We'll see how that progresses tonight, because our winds will be shifting to out of the east, and then they will be crossing state lines and into North Idaho if they manage to hold together. Our chances for thunderstorms and lightning about as high as it has been all summer long, really since the last time we had rain back on July 10th. These are pretty high odds, and we will see lightning strikes, and we will see new wildfires because of these lightning strikes, even with the beneficial rain that's going to come along with these storms. Look, it's going to take more than a couple of days, as you see on your screen in this discussion this morning from the National Weather Service. It's going to take more than a couple of days to recover from months and months of dry weather conditions. So even if you get good rain at your house, stay fire alert through the weekend. And if you see something, make sure you call it in as fast as possible. With all the lightning strikes, fire crews may still be quite busy as we head through the weekend. Coming up, we're going to tell you about another fire-related impact for this weekend that you'll also have to be looking out for besides the wet weather. Air quality. That's coming up shortly.
Matt, thank you. Well, the future of the Pac-12 is in serious jeopardy. Washington and Oregon will be leaving the Pac-12 to join the Big Ten in 2024.
This could be a fatal blow to the Pac-12 and leave Washington State's future in doubt. Sports director Julian Minnesone has the story from Pullman.
Washington and Oregon in the Pac-12 no longer. Alex, you're a former student of WSU, so where does this leave Washington State as a program moving forward?
It's pretty tough going forward here. We knew that this move was going to be coming for a while now, but stings all the same. But I think the days of Washington State being at the big boys table of collegiate athletics, they're just over. The Pac-12 was the lifeline that they had, a chance to go to the Rose Bowl and compete at the highest levels with these tournaments, but that's just going to be over with seemingly the conferences consolidating all into, what, 3 or 4 different conferences, and that's the future of college sports.
And you think about the big picture impact moving forward, this not only affects the student athletes that are just on the football team, who knows who could transfer because they don't play in a Power 5 conference anymore. You think about the non-revenue sports impacted that could get cut from this, those student athletes, the strain on the traveling across the country for a lot of these students who are going to new conferences. You think about potential jobs in the athletic department and personnel that could get cut from a lack of a revenue stream coming in if Washington State were joining another conference. A lot of trickle-down effect and domino effect in all of this, and it doesn't look good for WSU right now.
Yeah, we don't know how this is going to fully play out, at this point. It's still way too early. The athletic department really isn't commenting at this time on what their possible moves are going to be, but like you mentioned, if they were to join something like a Mountain West Conference, that is so much. We're talking in the tens of millions of dollars less revenue coming into the athletic department every year, and that just means they won't be able to compete at the highest levels. And who knows what could happen beyond that.
And there could be a potential of more teams that are leaving the Pac-12 conference moving forward. We'll keep you up to date on air and online here on 4 News Now. But for now, reporting in Pullman, Julian Minenzone, that's Alex Crescenti, 4 News Now Sports.
Our team coverage of the Pac-12's future continues.
With Oregon and Washington's departure to the Big Ten, the Pac-12 will struggle moving forward, and this news affects more than just the teams involved. Our Marissa Rio joins us in studio now with the impact this has on the whole community.
The Pac-12's future is bigger than sports. With no media deal set for the 2024-2025 season, a loss of revenue is likely. This news affects fans, employees, athletes, and the remaining Pac-12 schools. 7 teams remain in the Pac-12, with some also considering a departure. One WSU Hall of Famer tells me without a national presence, cutbacks are likely.
So now we're talking cutbacks in the athletic department, we're talking cutbacks at the school. Maybe they're changing some of the opportunities for degrees that you can get. It's across the board, and it's going to be very, very painful for a school like Oregon State and Washington State and whoever is left if there's no settlement on moving forward.
The WSU Athletics Department reported financial setbacks in recent months. It is likely that those cuts will worsen now. Athletes and fans will also miss the rivalry between the Huskies and Cougars.
I mean, because you just ended a rivalry in terms of schools. Washington State, Washington, Oregon, and Oregon State goes back to 1915. You know, that's a long time, 108 years. I mean, that's crazy, and that's gone.
Governor Jay Inslee also gave a statement regarding the loss of rivalry and said, regardless of which conference the Huskies play in, it is my understanding and expectation that the University of Washington remains committed to permanently continuing the Apple Cup with Washington State University, one of our state's greatest traditions and a prime example of how regional rivalries make college sports so special. Women's sports are also affected. As of now, there is less competition, a smaller chance at receiving national recognition.
What about Title IX? What about our ladies? You know, they deserve to have as much of an opportunity to compete as anybody else, and they've shown on both sides, both men and women, that they can do that. For me, as a competitor, that's the part that hurts.
It all comes down to money. With more teams applying to leave the Pac-12, this issue is likely to continue. For more information, you can go to our website at kxly.com. Reporting in studio, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Marissa, thank you. Well, Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers made a stop at 4 News Now this week. The Eastern Washington U.S. representative was in Spokane participating in a roundtable discussion surrounding school safety. And the Congresswoman says a priority for her is data protection for our kids, specifically when it comes to social media.
One did bring up that TikTok, for example, had a bring your gun to school challenge on TikTok. And so, yes, the social media aspect is very real and is influencing our kids.
4 News Now is dedicated and has dedicated special reports to the potential dangers of social media. You can find our full coverage on the social media effect in reports by anchors Aaron Luna and Derek Dice, along with ABC News, right now on KXLY.com.
New at 6:30, a Spokane man and woman are in jail tonight for allegedly luring men into an apartment to rob them. Police arrested 29-year-old Michael Gary after an hours-long standoff on the South Hill. Police say Gary and 31-year-old Cheyenne Grimm Harrington would connect with the victims in person and online to bring them to an apartment belonging to Gary. Gary would then use a real or a replica gun to rob the men. One of the victims even being taken to an ATM to withdraw money. Both were booked for 2 counts of first-degree robbery and 2 counts of kidnapping.
Still more stories next on 4 News Now.
Including this week's Air 4 Adventure, showcasing the Wandermere Golf Course in North Spokane. That's coming up on 4 News Now.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Nissan.
People who come to the inland Northwest rave about its beauty.
For those of us who live and work here, we couldn't agree more. From its iconic history
to a ton of new beginnings.
We have farm-to-table roots and access to nature right out our back door.
And as a community member, BECU wants to honor those who work together to make life better for our region.
Come out and enjoy top female athletes competing for the LPGA Tour. BECU, proud sponsor of the Epson Tour at Circling Raven Golf Course this August.
Let's have some fun. Let's win some money. Let's get it on. I can make your hands clap. Say, I can make your hands clap. Don't act like you don't hear me now.
I knew it was going to go this way, Steve.
Name a part of your body makes a lot of noise.
My hands.
Introducing the pizza so nice, we pepperonied it twice. The new double pepperoni crazy crust pizza from Little Caesars. Picture this: classic pepperoni and crispy curly old world pepperoni, sprinkled with toasted cheeses, finished with a garlic parmesan crust that must be seen in slow-mo to be believed. Holy moly, are you picturing this? Get a large double pepperoni crazy crust for just $8.99. Available all day or hot and ready from 4 to 8 p.m. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
We're back. Get ready for a brand new season of Collector's Call. All new collections. All new collectors.
Ah, you're kidding.
All new fun. Join me, Lisa Welchel, for a new season of Collector's Call.
Sundays on MeTV. Over the air on KXLY 4.2, Comcast 114, and Spectrum 9, 17, and 181.
The Trump indictment, the day after his arraignment.
It may well be the most important trial in American history.
Next, Inside Edition, the nation on edge. Trump's blame game defense. Will it work? Then, the Great Bear debate. Is it a bear or a woman in a bear costume? The sensation the whole world is talking about. They're right here in the USA. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Well, this dog was going for a walk on Interstate 95 in Philadelphia. The dog bringing traffic to a standstill this morning, and at one point, I guess that dog was hit by a large truck and knocked over, but it kept going, and then eventually the dog was held by police and taken to a pet care center as they are still looking for its owner, but I'm glad that it's okay. It's a sad story. Poor little lost dog.
You know, huskies are escape artists.
That's true.
Yeah. Looks like that one escaped quite a bit. Unfortunately, I wish we could escape this air quality. It's been kind of hovering right at that level of, well, maybe it's kind of bad and you smell a little bit of smoke, but it's just kind of okay. I think it might get worse before it gets better, friends. Here's what's going on right now. We're solidly in the moderate from Coeur d'Alene all the way to Airway Heights because of the fires that we are seeing today. And as our winds shift out of the east, I think it's just going to become more and more apparent how smoky our skies become. And we're going to get that with some rain and thunderstorms, ironically enough. It's going to be a weird weekend for sure in the weather. Saturday, expect moderate air quality. Sunday is the day that I'm going to be watching much more so, where we could get into the orange, sensitive, unhealthy for sensitive groups, maybe even more than that, depending on how active some of these fires to our north and to our east are in the days to come. But let's look at our latest smoke simulation here. This is Saturday morning. Not a whole lot of changes, but then watch what happens here as we head into Saturday afternoon. Lots of activity in western Montana. Activity here on this Ridge Creek fire burning up in the timber north of Hayden Lake. And then, well, you'll see. Those east winds bringing all that smoke and just kind of parking it over Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, at least for the morning hours. And so Sunday morning in particular, I do think we are going to see a drop in air quality. So something else to keep in mind along with checking that radar, because you're going to need to pretty much every hour of the day this weekend once we get into Saturday afternoon. Really good shot at some wetting rain. We desperately need rain around here, and we'll have a good shot through Monday before things begin to taper off and this weather system moves out of the inland northwest. Here's how things are going to play out. This is Saturday morning. Little light rain showers in the Palouse and into the LC Valley. The party really gets started, though, as we head into lunchtime and later, starting in North Idaho and then swinging over into the Spokane area. As early as noon, as late as about 2 o'clock, and as we head into the afternoon, our chances everywhere for thunderstorm activity will increase quite a bit, and that'll be the status quo here through the night and into the morning, where we'll have a bit of a lull, and then by Sunday afternoon you can see just a patchwork quilt of thunderstorm activity all across the inland northwest. So it's not going to be raining all the time, but it is going to be off and on throughout a good portion of the day as this system parks right on top of us. Temperatures tonight in the 60s and into the 50s. The one positive here with these thunderstorms, besides getting us rain, is that we are going to have cooler temperatures. And that's going to be a theme in the week to come. Take a look at this. Highs only around 80 degrees for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this upcoming week. And if we do get some heavy storm activity in your neighborhood, you may not even get out of the 70s for some of these days where we have more thunderstorm activity expected. It's nice to have a cool down in the middle of the week. We just wish we didn't have the lightning coming along with it, which is going to start some new fires that our local crews are going to have to get under control.
Thank you, Matt. And here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Mr. Quah Casino Hotel in Chewelah is letting you choose your prize. A chance to win $45,000 to spend towards a new Chevy, or you could win $35,000 cash. Your choice. Play your favorite games at Mr. Quah Casino Hotel to earn entries. Every Friday in August, you can earn bonus entries playing your favorite games. The more you play, the more chances you have to win. Learn more at MrQuah.com.
The time to buy is now. Yes, RV show pricing continues at R&R RV in North Spokane. Over 125 RVs are indoors at 525 East Francis. You'll save thousands with rebates and show discounts on Cougar, Rockwood, Montana, Class B vans, and more. Everything show price. You don't want to shop in this heat. Shop over 125 RVs indoors now at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis, or online at rnrrv.com.
After Advil.
Feeling better?
On top of the world!
Before Advil. Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. When pain comes for you, come back fast with Advil liquid gels.
What if you had to choose between fixing the roof over your head and putting food on the table? What if that leak led to mold growing in your home? What if that meant you could not focus on finding a new job, or your children could no longer focus on learning? What if you no longer had a safe place to call home? Help Rebuilding Together make emergency repairs for our neighbors who have lost jobs and have to make those difficult choices. Text REBUILD to 484848.
Get more MASH on MeTV.
Do you want more, sir?
It's not just 1 hour, it's
2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours.
So get more MASH.
I just can't get enough.
Get more MASH. Weeknights beginning at 6 on MeTV 4.2.
Is it your day to water? Know if you are odd or even and be water wise this summer.
Hey, it's Friday, and that means it's time to go for a ride on the Air 4 drone.
In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we're giving you a bird's eye view of one of the most popular golf courses in Spokane. Let's go for a ride on the Air 4 drone over the Windermere Golf Course.
We're
here at Wandermere Golf Course, here on the north end of Spokane. Beautiful day out here. I know we have a little smoke coverage, which has been kind of the normal out here this golf season, but still, of course, is in great shape. Kind of used to be almost a little hidden jewel out here, and with how much everything's developed up north, we're definitely getting a little busier. I think golf during COVID, it's one of the few things we could still get outdoors and enjoy, so it seems like golf everywhere is kind of up right now, and we've definitely seen that as well. We are a family-run business. We started in 1929. Been here ever since, stayed in the family. I'll be the 5th generation to go through here. Been through some changes. We used to have ski jumps and swimming and all sorts of horseback riding, more like picnic, fun park place, and then converted to golf course and been that way since. First 9 is pretty open. You can definitely get away with spraying it off the tee a little bit out here, but around the greens, they are kind of smaller greens and some tricky slopes to them, so it definitely comes down to the short game out here. Back 9 definitely have some tricky holes, finishing 16, 17, 18. The river kind of comes into play there. As far as walking wise, it is a pretty walkable course, not too hilly, about 6,000 yards from the back tee box. Here in Spokane, we don't realize, I think, how spoiled we are when it comes to golf. Not only the prices, but the options as well. Within a 20-minute drive, you have about 10 to 12 courses to choose from and all reasonable price. So we definitely are a nice golfing town to be at.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team back in action. The Northwest Autism Center is expanding into a new space. All these cubicles have to go. The carpet's got to be removed, and we've got a couple of days to do it. It's coming in August. I'm Mark Peterson. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Summer's here, and when the sun's out, it's guns out.
Do you feel lucky?
Please try not to break anything.
So hit the beach, drop the top, and soak up the rays. Because summer on H&I is gonna be a blast.
Watch Heroes and Icons over the air on KXLY 4.3. Spokane's hottest music.
Break me for so done with you, girl. Poppin', man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
Astapro Allergy, steroid-free allergy relief that starts working in 30 minutes, while other allergy sprays take hours. With Astapro's unbeatably fast allergy relief, you can Astapro and go.
Where should I walk? Right here? Is this good?
Yeah, you can walk right there. This is your show. Do whatever you want.
You walk in.
It's live with Kelly and Mark.
Wow, that was a nice reception.
New research suggests that French fries may be linked to depression.
No.
I experience euphoria upon eating fries.
Euphoria.
Elation.
All the E's.
Every weekday morning.
That's right. That's right.
It all goes down on daytime's #1 talk show.
Yeah, of course that. All that.
We're sitting on a couch with the new co-host, husband and wife team.
Watch live with Kelly and Mark. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Only on 4 News Now.
You expect more from local news. 4 News Now delivers.
It's to get you the information you need to plan your day.
We begin with breaking news and the breaking news you need to keep your family safe.
That's what we mean when we say expect more.
4 News Now is brought to you by Big Out in the Park.
We continue to follow breaking news. A fire is burning near the Post Falls Dam. Level 3 evacuations are in place. Look at your screen. That is for everything in red. If you're in that area, you should leave now.
We're sending it one last time to our Rania Kaur, who's live near this fire, and she's been covering it all afternoon. Rania?
Aaron, Kirsten, the last we heard from Kootenai Fire and Rescue was that this fire had grown to 18 acres and is now burning towards Camelin Park near the wildland area. We do know that this fire came just within several hundred feet within some homes, but fire crews were able to get a handle on it. We do see a lot of air support still in the area, and of course, we do know that they'll be reevaluating the evacuations levels soon. Of course, we'll continue to bring you the latest right here on KXLY and on our website at KXLY.com. Sending it back to you in studio.
All right, thank you, Rania. And we are going to be looking at, well, a little plus and a little minus in our forecast, right? So we get some rain. We desperately need some rain. We also have lightning, and we could have all the rain in the world, and it would not stop lightning-started fires this weekend. So just something for all of you at home to keep in mind when there's lightning around near your neighborhood.
Yeah, stay fire aware all weekend long.
And you can download the 4 News Now weather app for that up-to-date radar, which will be really handy.
Yes, it will.